I don't know if I kind of want. I don't know if I want that. Look, I want things to be locked behind the paywall because I want the game to be successful. You know what I mean? If it's really free, they're gonna have to take funds out of the other games that they have or the other games that they're making. What I see here is like they're basically bringing this back just for nostalgia and just having their servers up for people. I hope that's not what that is, and I hope that they plan on adding to the game, which is why I don't want everything free. I want them to like literally publish this game and continue to work on it, continue to have teams developing it, continuing to go in season 5, season 6, season 7, season 8. I want more. And I hope that's what I see. Welcome back, everyone, to Poppin' Often with Lofton. We're going to be talking about more Grand Chase. Do I really need a reason to talk more about Grand Chase? I'm just saying this game is hype. I can't wait for it to drop. I don't need a reason to talk more about it, but here we are, talking more about it. What are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about the dungeon modes. We're going to be talking about the PvP modes. We're going to be talking about something that I don't think anyone has ever talked about, but I'm going to be talking about it. And what is it? It's going to be things that I just don't see anymore that I've seen before. But also they have some little hints inside of their screenshots that let you know what else is going to be in the game that they didn't tell you. So I'm curious on your reaction of like, how are you guys going to feel when they remove some of the content because maybe they felt like people didn't use it and stuff like that. But I also want to know how you guys feel about the content that's going to be in there for sure, if the screenshots are basically indicative of what we are to expect. So without further ado, let's start. So of course you already know there's going to be 20 characters, right? 20 characters. These are pretty much every single character in the game that we had, even Uno. And Uno was the last character released before the shutdown. It kind of sucks. It hurts my soul, but at least they're bringing it back. Now we have the skill tree here. So we have first, second, third, fourth job. I love that. We also have a little quest tab here. And I don't think that was there before. We have normal skills, and these aren't really special abilities. All these are just skills. So let's just say my regular combo without the skill tree is 1, 2, 3. Well, with the skill tree, it lets you add 4, 5, 6 different variations, different moves, but they are not special abilities, just basic stuff. Then we have special abilities. What are those? Those are something that costs mana. You get 4 bars of MP or AP, and they ability points, mana points. Keep up, keep up. So let's just say my first bar, my first skill, it requires 1 bar of mana. It has me throw a fireball. Well, if I upgrade that in the special ability tab, it will let me be able to throw a fireball, and the fireball will explode into pieces. And then maybe the third level up is like, it's a bigger fireball that explodes into bigger pieces. You know what I mean? And then the shared skills, I don't remember too much about that to be real, but I'm just going to assume that's the thing where they allow you to have bonus mana regeneration on all characters and stuff like that. There's little stuff to give you like an edge, but it's not really anything like massive. The thing that I said I'm really curious about is this right here, the quest. As you see, there's a 4th bar, and then there's some 4th skills, and they didn't really have that before. Before, you were kind of confused about how to get it. I know I was, and I had to look it up and stuff like that. So I think they're going to be going for a little bit more clarification about how to get things, and I also think they're going to be going the distance and actually allowing players to unlock some of these things without actually having to use cash. Let's talk about dungeons now. So dungeons, party with your friends to explore the vast lands. Solo play is available. Of course, you can play as solo, or you can play with people. The harder the dungeon difficulty, the more people you probably want in your party. You have the normal dungeons. So what are normal dungeons? Follow the stories of the characters and the world of Grand Chase. Pretty much what that means is story mode. Grand Chase story is pretty linear, and so is their dungeons. So it's basically I'm playing map A, map B, map C, all the way till Z. There's literally no like map B1, map B2. It's linear. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like you don't need to like explore every room. I usually do anyway because I'm a completionist and I can't play a game without exploring everything. But you don't need to basically explore every room as long as you can get from point A to the start to the boss. Like you're good to go. You're not missing out on anything. That being said, if you play it on easy, there's 3 difficulties. There's like easy, hard, and then like very hard. It used to be like easy, medium, and hard, but they changed it. Pretty much what that means is like when you play it on easy, there's no buffed minions, no buffed monsters. The level is usually smaller. Then when you go to hard, it's more of like a bigger map. You can explore a little bit more in the rooms, and the minions are usually buffed. And then I think very hard is when like the boss is buffed as well, and then there's a lot more monsters, and also the monsters are buffed as well. And then of course there's more rooms. This would help you level faster. Obviously, the more rooms you have, the more monsters you can kill, and like I said, they add a little bit more monsters in there if I remember correctly. And then on top of that, you're actually able to get better loot too. So there's a specific reason to play on harder modes, but once again, you're not really forced to. I don't recall Grand Chase saying you need to complete it on these difficulties to move to the next. I don't remember if it was anything like that. Heroic dungeons. Heroic dungeons are usually the in-game places. It says right there, complete each dungeon to obtain the best available equipment. So there's a couple of things to talk about that. Heroic dungeons basically, like I said, are the in-game gear, but when you complete them, or not the in-game gear, but the in-game dungeons, when you complete them, then you get this coin. And you can use those coins to, like it says right there, I'm pointing with my hands like you can see it. With the mouse, you can see it, right? It says right here, you get the hero shot. You would do like, let's say the dungeon A, and then the next hour is dungeon B, and you had to get in before it changed. And then there'd be, I think there's only 2, there could be 3. And then you would get, yeah, the third one that they added was like Balesque or something like that, the dragon one. And then the 4th hour, it'd be returned back to that first one. And so throughout the entire day, you have, I believe, a chance to enter each of them 3 times. So you would get gear from completing it. I believe like it was a roll system or something like that. I don't remember. And you can get gear from completing it. But the hero shop also allowed you to just buy stuff because, hey, I didn't get my gear that I wanted, or the gear didn't drop, but I can still get stuff even though I completed the dungeon, I didn't get anything. Next, we want to talk about event dungeons. So event dungeons pretty much sound exactly what it is. Dungeons that just are like for fun. They usually drop cosmetic items. They're usually give you missions to like complete there, and they'll give you pets, and like I said, they'll give you cosmetic items. For example, I remember there in the circus, there was like a circus pet that would like drop gas, and anybody who walked in it would be slowed a ton. And then you would have like clown gear, and so they definitely are really nice to run. They also give you really good armor, to be real, especially if you're not higher level. So it's not just like there for fun. You actually get a lot of cool stuff there, and I recommend doing it. But it sounds exactly what it is. It has nothing to do with the story. Actually, the event dungeons have a story, but like it's like an off story. So it's not, you're not forced to play them. They're just there if you want to get gear or to get pets. Now, I'm gonna talk about just dungeons in general. As you see, there's continents, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 of them. Now, when you click into the continent, this is what it looks like. So this is why I said it's pretty linear, because you go from point A, point B, and you just follow the yellow brick road, and then you'd be done. That's pretty much what all of them are like. This area has less dungeons, but like Certain, I believe, has a lot of dungeons, and don't let this picture fool you. There's a lot more dungeons in each continent than what they show here. But they are really well-made dungeons. They are some well-made dungeons. Each dungeon has its own flavor to it, and it's never repeated. So that's a really good thing about their dungeons. One thing that we noticed here that it just didn't talk about is the dimension door, right? And so if you guys are like not sure what a dimension door is, versus you guys that are like, I know what that is. Pretty much the dimension door is like a survival thing, where basically you would fight waves of monsters, and after the wave of monsters, you get a random boss. And then once you beat that boss, you can choose to continue, or you can choose to leave. And you can basically see how far you can go. That's pretty much what the dimension door is for. I really don't remember the rewards that came from it, so I can't even tell you. What I also noticed was that I don't know if this is the full frame, but it looks like they took away the crafting system. You guys remember the crafting system where you can craft like accessories, and you could craft like crystals, I believe, and then you can craft like gems, and I don't see that here. So I don't know if they took it away or if it's in another menu. Also, I don't see the house. Like I don't see the way to get into the house area, or into the, what is that? The plaza. But to be fair, I think they moved the entrance to plaza through the PvP. So I wonder if they're gonna just say, we're not bringing that back yet, we're gonna add it later. And then of course, like I said, the plaza, I would hope you can do it through PvP area. But if not, I wonder if that's gone too. So what? No crafting, no plaza, no housing. Next, we have PvP. my favorite stuff. This is my go-to. So with your unique skill tree, play strategic matches against other players in various PvP modes. Play together between 2 to 6 players. So yeah, you can play with 2 players. You can play with 6 players. It doesn't really matter. You can also play. It says right here, item match. So item match pretty much sounds like it's like Smash Brothers, but not as glorified. I don't like the mode. The items are kind of that sounds bad, like I'm BMing the game, but it was just one of those modes that are just there if you wanna, but nobody really played it really. Team match, pretty much what it sounds like, 3v3, 2v2, 1v1, and then single match. So basically singles match is like, if you have 6 players, 1v1, v1, 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 which is free for all, or you can just have a 1v1 if you want. One thing that they didn't say is like stat modes. So I'm hoping they're bringing back normalized stats, because I do want that. I don't want to be crit for 1,000,000 damage. And I also hope that they bring back the ability to like take off skill tree or take off pets, because I remember you'd have to title the room like no pets, C+, blah, 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 for the stats. But then they added a thing where it was like you could just take off the pets, you could take off the whatchamacallits, you know. So I hope that they bring that back as well. You can still see, okay, so this says 1 through 5. You're actually able to have more than 5. So now it's got me thinking, are these gonna go away too? I think we're kind of backtracking a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And then customization. There are various weapons, armor sets, and accessories that allow you to customize your characters and stand out in a crowd. These are basically gotchas. I call it gotcha ass because, you know, like you go and spend money, but you don't get the actual armor. So I call it gotcha ass. Like, hey, we got your ass because you spent money and you're not getting what you paid for. So that's what this is. And usually they have a lot of skill slots where you can put in like crit, or you can put in damage or MP recovery. There's a lot of slots that Cash Gear usually gives you that enhance your gear, make you very strong, like literally unstoppable strong, whether it be in dungeons or PvP. And then it also comes with a pet. Now, the way that they're advertising this is making me think it's for free. Like the gotcha stuff isn't gonna be cash. Like I said, I wonder if it's gonna go to like a free model where like you just gotta work for it and you can get it, or you could just cash it. Cause why would you show this why would you show this as a feature if you have to pay for it? Because then you're making me think like it's free, and then I get in there, it's like you have to pay for it. Then why is this a, you know? So I wonder if the whole game is just gonna go free. I don't know if I kind of want. I don't know if I want that. Look, I want things to be locked behind the paywall because I want the game to be successful. You know what I mean? If it's really free, they're gonna have to take funds out of the other games that they have or the other games that they're making. What I see here is like they're basically bringing this back just for nostalgia and just having their servers up for people. I hope that's not what that is, and I hope that they plan on adding to the game, which is why I don't want everything free. I don't want everything to be worked for. I know there's a lot of you guys that would pay for this stuff anyway, like even if you could get it for like working for it, you would pay for it anyway, because I know a lot of you guys want to support the game. But I hope like that's not what's going to happen. I hope there's still going to be stuff locked behind paywalls, but I hope it's reasonable. You know, I don't want it to be anything where it's like it's unfair, like you're pay to win. It never really was pay to win. Okay, it was if you didn't have the stat thing on, but if you have the stat thing on it, it's not pay to win at all. And then in dungeons, once again, it's not pay to win. You could be weak and still like beat dungeons as long as you don't get hit by stuff. So it really was never pay to win. So that's my final thoughts there. I hope that they're adding some of the stuff that they don't show, and I hope that they are keeping some of the stuff that they are showing. And once again, I just hope that they're not gonna go to a free like, we're just having the server for you guys. Have fun. I don't want that. I want them to like literally publish this game and continue to work on it, continue to have teams developing it, continuing to go in season 5, season 6, season 7, season 8. I want more. And I hope that's what I see. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If there's any updates on Grand Chase or anything like that, feel free to let me know. I'll do a video on it, because like anything about Grand Chase, I'll do a video on. This is my game, and I plan to make more content. So if you guys are interested in that, please hit subscribe. because more Grand Chase content is coming your way. Thank you for what? Popping often with Lofton.